So I would argue that when we overfocus, when Terry and Catherine are on this 4-hour call, what happens in that 4-hour call, the more intense that they were involved, I'm proposing the less they heard, the less they processed, the less open that they could be, the more, and what happens, what do? As we try to concentrate, well, wait, did I catch that? I'm not really sure. What do? We concentrate harder and harder and harder, cutting out. And we actually, I believe it actually affects our overall ability to be empathic and be open, because that's what we're really there to do. And this situation, is obviously unique. I'm taking all my knowledge and I'm expanding it to this situation. But believe me, if this situation wasn't there, we still do it, but maybe not to the same degree. Right? Like, yeah, this is such a small group. Let me just ask the question. What symptoms do people have? Do you guys have any symptoms at the computer? I'm just curious.
I just noticed, because Catherine and I work with our doula clients, pregnant women and all of that. I noticed that like an hour-long meeting on Zoom with a doula client where I'm trying so hard to read them and feel them and let them know I'm there, that like an hour and a half is like 3 hours in person. Like that there's just like, and I think it's more than visual strain. But it is like incredibly draining. And I think it's, what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, I think it is. And I think that, we try to, and we're kind of trying to draw the information out of the person, right? We're trying to, because we want to connect. I was thinking about it also earlier, is that, let's take this right now. I mean, how many lectures have I ever given in my life? A zillion. How many have I ever given on a computer? This is the first one. Okay. So I'm talking to you guys. Am I thinking that you're on a screen? The answer is no, I'm not. I'm thinking of you as if you're actually right here. And I'm relating to you as if you're actually right here. And I'm talking to you in that way. But actually you're on a screen. So I'm trying to draw, I'm talking to you as if you're live, right? As if you're physically in front of me. And I think that and I think that that's a flaw, because what's going to happen is that you're on a screen. So I'm going to try to relate to you and connect to you as if the two of us are sitting in my house having dinner, and I'm just talking across the table. And I think that way of talking is going to be tremendously fatiguing. And over time, I mean, how long have we done this? A few weeks. I mean, who knows how much longer we're going to do it. I think that over time, it'll take a toll. So the concept of this is for you, Steve, and that is the concept. It's called figure ground. I only used you, Steve, to just kind of bring you back in. It's an old lecture trick, Oh wait, Steve's dozing off. Hey, let's zero in on him. No, you're not dozing off, Steve.
Dozing off, but
don't,
okay.
Steve, don't. I never thought such a thing. Don't. Just kidding. Okay, I mean, obviously, I don't even know you. And
by the way, I don't know if you think of it this way, but one of the really fatiguing things about trying to talk to people on Zoom is that it's impossible to make eye contact, right? Because
that's interesting.
The cameras are never where you're looking. Either they're down or they're up. So anytime for me to make eye contact to you, I have to look away from your face. For me to look like I'm looking right in the screen. So it always feels like.
Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, I didn't realize that. Maybe I don't do enough Zoom calls. Oh, really? So you have to look away to look at the person?
Right. So
That's
most
interesting.
computers, the camera's above the screen. So if you feel like you're
All
looking
right.
at the person, it looks like you're looking down. And a few of
That
them
makes perfect sense.
cameras on the bottom, and so it looks like this. And so whenever you are trying to connect with somebody, you're not, and it just feels
Oh, that's really
perfect.
interesting. Well, I'm going to use that information for my next lecture. Thanks, Steve. And of course, I'll just tell people that I came to that conclusion on my own, and you get no credit whatsoever. So, so this concept is called figure ground. So figure is what you pay attention to, and ground is everything else. And that's a term that's used a lot in learning theory. It's also used in art. You know, when you look at a painting, you look at the figure versus the ground. And what I'm saying to you is that I think that the figure should only be slightly more important than the ground. And so that, sorry, I got distracted, sorry. So the figure should only be just very slightly more important than the ground. And one way that I do that in my own office is that, and I've done this for many years, is I actually give people prescriptions that are less than they actually need. Great, great. And people come to me and pay me, and I give them glasses that they can't see out of. It's a fascinating profession I have. But anyway, I do that to soften the center. And when I soften the center, I can move further into the periphery. And I've done that a lot with a lot of clients, and I even do it with myself. Like if I'm in my office and the office is really intense, I have a pair of glasses that blurs the office slightly, and I put them on, and what it does is it softens the center, and then I can relax. Because when in my office, for those of you who've been in it, it can get very intense, and everyone's pop, 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 and everyone's asking me questions and so on. You want to just open yourself up and soften the way things are rather than over focus into things. So let me flip a page. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Here's your first ditty that you need to remember forever. Depending on your age, you could have it tattooed on your arm, but maybe not, okay? It's called the 20-20-20 rule. And we're gonna try it now. This is, if there's ever something to remember, this is it. The 20-20-20 rule means every 20 minutes for 20 seconds, you need to look 20 feet away. That is a standard thing that we talk about at the computer. Every 20 minutes for 20 seconds, we need to look 20 feet away. So, ideally that 20 feet should be more than that if you're actually at a window and you can look out a window. And the way you remember it is you take your handy dandy phone and you program it for 20 minutes. And every 20 minutes, like Pavlov's dog, you salivate and then you look 20 feet away. So anyway, what I tell patients to do is they get a target and they put it up on the wall on the other side of your computer. Okay, so even if it's not 20 feet, maybe it's 10 feet or 12 feet or whatever it is. And what you do is that in the morning, when you start out your day, now it's fascinating that, well, I have to see who else is here, but whoever else is here, no one seems to be wearing glasses. What an interesting, except for Therese. Okay. Oh, Catherine, sorry, Catherine, I didn't notice that and you are too. Oh, everyone's wearing glasses. Oh my God, I didn't realize it. So anyway, what you do is that in the morning, you look out at your target and you cover one eye and you look at that target and you make a mental note of the clarity. Okay? This is how you're going to start your day. Each day, you cover your eye, you look at the far target, you make a mental note of the clarity.
With or without your glasses?
With your distance glasses. If you're wearing reading glasses, you take them off. Okay? Or if you're wearing a progressive, the distant part of the progressive, the top part of the progressive. Okay? And you look out as far as you can at your target that you've put up on the wall. Then you cover the other eye and you do the same thing. And then what you do is you go about your day. And now 20 minutes pass and your little beeper goes off and you look up at that target. If that target is not the same level of clarity that it was when you started, you have to take a break. You have to take a break. If you look up at that target, because just to understand the way nearsightedness is our eyes that have problems relaxing at distance. So you can't relax your eye, and as a result, distance gets blurred. The reason that far target is blurred is you focus your eye so intensely at near that when you look at far, you can't relax it. And as a result, you're actually more nearsighted than you were before. Okay? You're more nearsighted than you were before. And that's actually how nearsightedness occurs. Then what happens, but for our intents and purposes, you look at it, and if it is blurred, either eye, and the reason you do this is because one eye could dominate, and then you could look with two eyes, the other eye could be completely blurred and you'd never know. Okay? And then what you do is you take a break, you look out a window, you take in all of that periphery I spoke about before, as wide as you possibly can, and then come back to work. And I am making the case that if you do that over the course of your workday, you'll be more present. Over the course of your workday, you'll be more conscious. You will be, if for those of you who are working with clients, you will be a better practitioner for those clients if you do that. Okay? You'll be a better practitioner for those clients because vision is supposed to be effortless. It's an effortless process to see. We open our eyes and light comes in and we process it. That requires nothing. But the way we visually focus and process makes vision effortful. So what does that mean? I guess I made that word up, but it causes effort, okay? So what that means is that if energy is finite and we use energy to relax our eyes, focus our eyes and all that, then the energy that we need in ourselves to process information from the person we're sitting on that Zoom call with, we can't do. We can't do. So therefore, we are not as present as we were. And it takes away from our ability to be there. Now remember, what I said to you is that make a mental note of the clarity, because for all I know, it's not clear when you start. Okay? All we want is that it's at the level that it was when you started.